Tonight, Senate okays the design of some Naira notes, pledges support to CBN. Independent National Electoral Commission insists on use of technology for 2023 general elections. Causes, consequences, and way out of rising inflation in Nigeria in focus. Plus, updates from the world of entertainment and sports. This is the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA ILORIN News Tonight. Good evening and welcome. I am Kehinde Omolosho. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved more than 134.7 billion naira for the payment of security debarment allowance to all veterans who retired from the Nigerian Armed Forces with effect from 2017. The president, who dropped this cheering news at the launch of the 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem Appeal Fund, stressed the need for the enormous potentials of the ex-servicemen to be tapped for national development. The Senate has resolved to provide legislative support to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for the redesign of the 1,000, 500 and 200 naira notes. The upper chamber made this resolution after a heated debate on a motion moved by Senator Ubasani on CBN's policy to redesign the 3 naira notes. Senators across party lines support the redesign of the naira, but some of them are concerned about the deadline set by the Apex Bank for the old notes to be deposited in the commercial banks. Lawmakers also questioned the impact of the redesign on naira note on the economy and if it will help reduce the inflation rate and the dwindling value of the naira. They want the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, to provide further clarification on these issues. They are also worried about the effect of the policy on those in the rural areas and the unbanked. The Senate consequently mandated its Committee on Banking to embark on aggressive oversight to ensure that Nigerians are protected during this exercise. Emefiele had on October 26, 2022, announced that the Apex Bank would issue redesigned 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes effective December 15, 2022, while the new and existing currencies would remain legal tender and circulate together until January 31, 2023. Inflation rate in Nigeria within the last month has accelerated to 21.09%, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. This is a 0.32% increase from 20.77% recorded in September this year. Aisha Abubakar Yaya in this report takes a look at the causes of the rapid rise in inflation in recent times in Nigeria and how it can be addressed.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the inflation rate on all items in recent times, year in, year out, back to back, was highest in Kogi, Bauchi, Ondo states, while increase on a month-on-month basis was higher in Kwara, Kebbi and Oyo states. Multiple factors such as high volume of demand, oversupply, poor economic policies, as well as lack of price control in the market, some financial and economic experts attribute to being responsible for high inflation in Nigeria.
What really caused the sudden higher inflation again is because of too much money in circulation and the disruption from the value chain, food supply chain.
Demand is more than the supply, and that is why the price is high. And it's even going to get higher in the next 2 weeks as Christmas is even approaching.
This analysis by financial experts prompted me to feel the pulse of some people who also blame the daily price increment of commodities and lack of government's political will to regulate prices of commodities. But how exactly can Nigeria tackle inflation?
Now the first thing is we have to increase what we produce. We have to be able to preserve what we produce. So with that, once there's plentiful of food, then the prices will go down. Then the other component of that inflation is transportation.
Like what the government can do, release grains from government stock from the warehouse of the Agric Ministry. The federal government can order them to release the grain and sell directly in the market.
The government has to quickly tend the insecurity, the banditry activities in the rural area. You know, the people they kidnap most are even farmers. People that go into their farm, they kidnap them because it's very easy to their abode, to the criminal abode. So they pick people are afraid of going to farm. The supply chain is very low. So if things like this continue, so there's no way we can. So government has to do something about that.
For Nigeria's inflation to be controlled and our economy revived, Experts say government must come up with better policies, while citizens should also disengage from sabotaging government policies. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
The need for people to be more tolerant in order to foster peace has again been brought to the fore as the world commemorates International Day of Tolerance. In this report, Raliat Ibrahim takes a look at the significance of the day and gains of tolerance among the people.
The Human Rights Act of 1964, which banned discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex or national origin, was established and International Day of Tolerance created. According to UNESCO, tolerance is respect and appreciation of the rich variety of the world's cultures, forms of expression and ways of being human.
By virtue of the economic hindrances that is affecting Nigerians, the act of tolerance must be something we must adopt, because as it is, people are tensed up, people are frustrated. But if we happen to tolerate ourselves, we'll be able to imbibe a way of living within ourselves.
When we tolerate ourselves, there are a lot of gains there. Because I will know your weakness, you will know my weakness. I will know your strength, you will know my strength. And we can help each other by our strengths, we can help each other with our weaknesses.
We have different characters as human beings. So when you don't tolerate another person with what he's doing or behaving to you, there will be a problem between each other. But when you try to understand person as a human, so tolerance is one of the very things that's good in our society.
Tolerance also recognizes the universal human rights and fundamental freedoms of others. For many, the importance of tolerance cannot be overemphasized.
The majority of the things that we have to do, we have to tolerate people. I mean, there are some attitudes that people can put up that can be very annoying. But the fact that you as a person will just overlook it, just tolerate it. So it's actually an essential part of us living as a social being.
I would want to appeal that whatever it is, we should see ourselves as our brothers' keepers.
When there's no tolerance, we don't even know what you are doing. You won't know what I'm doing. I won't know what you are doing, and it can be problems to people.
People are naturally diverse, and only tolerance can ensure that people live together harmoniously. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, insists on use of technology for 2023 general elections. These and more reports after this break. Stay tuned.
Ọmọ ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jẹ́ rechargeable fan níbi ìpolongo àjọyọ̀ ayọ̀ Glo ni o. Èèyàn mi ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jẹ́ sewing machine látọwọ́ Glo ni. Ṣé fẹ́ máa gbọ́ṣẹ́ Glo?
Ẹ wo ẹ̀bùn ńlá tí mo jẹ lọ́wọ́ Glo.
Glo ló ṣe yìí o. Ẹ ṣe.
Èmi náà jẹ gbogbo kọ́lẹ́jẹ̀wọlé. Kọ́lẹ́jẹ̀wọlé o. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sájọ̀dún Glo Festival of Joy. Testa 611# láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn kó o sì kó nínú àwọn ẹ̀bùn jìnnì ti ayẹyẹ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan nílé ayé ọmọ ìdẹ́yàn. Glo nìkan ló lè ṣe é.
Ọ̀gá landlord, ẹ̀yin náà wọ́n rí bébì náà dé bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin náà lọ recharge Glo.
Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glo Festival of Joy.
Welcome back. The chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has said there is no going back on the Commission's readiness to deploy the bimodal voter accreditation system and the INEC result viewing portal in the 2023 general elections. INEC said he had made a steady progress in the electoral reforms and election administration, adding that Nigeria's confidence in the electoral process was increasing. His appeal to political parties and political leaders is to conduct their campaigns peacefully, eschewing divisiveness, rancor, and violence. INEC, he pledged, will continue to play its part diligently and consensuously and charge stakeholders and citizens to play their part so as to give Nigerians elections they yearn for. And moving on to entertainment news. Nigerian Afrobeat star Temilade Openiyi has earned 3 nominations for 2023 Grammy Award, which is a record-breaking history for Afrobeats. Peace Olariwaju has details.
Authorities of the 2023 Grammy Awards have announced that Nigeria artist Tems was nominated for Best Rap Song and Best Melodic Rap Performance for her contributions to Future's Wait For You. She earned her third nomination as a featured artist in Beyonce's album of the year titled Renaissance. Veteran actor Anta Lanino said he was grateful for the emergence of streaming platforms as they have improved film quality. According to him, the existence of these streaming platforms prevented the release of substandard films, forcing movie makers and others to work harder to generate acceptable results. Multi-talented actress, singer and songwriter Adesuwa Itomi, popularly known as Susu, has released her debut extended play titled Sue Me. The debut, which features her husband Banky W, according to her, was inspired by her home filled with love and happiness. Peace Olaiwaju, NTA News.
And now sports. Ahead of the international friendly against Portugal on Thursday, Super Eagles head coach Jose Peseiro has revealed the team's goal. David Tuta has more on sports updates.
Peseiro said the Eagles attempt to dominate possession of the game, as they would also attempt to try to win the encounter. The three-time African champions have failed to win in any of their last 11 friendlies, but they will hope to end the unwanted record when they face Portugal at the Estadio José Alvalade in Lisbon. The Oyo State's governor, Seyi Makinde, has received the symbolic torch of unity ahead of the forthcoming National Sports Festival, tagged Delta 2022. The torch, which traditionally goes through the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory before the commencement of the event, was received by the Oyo State Governor, who was represented by his deputy, Bayo Lawal.
The torch of unity symbolizes, as it is called, unity for the nation. So it gives a great pleasure for us in Oyo State to receive this torch of unity. And we will do all that is required to promote sports in Oyo State, to charge our athletes to double efforts and ensure that we win more laurels than we did the last time when this exercise took place.
Meanwhile, the United States Soccer Federation has appointed US-based Nigerian tactician Michael Nsien as the new head coach of the country's under-16 men's youth national football team on a 3-year deal. Nsien, with over 23 years of experience as a player and coach for clubs in the United States, becomes the first Nigerian to take the reign of the US under-16 men's youth national team. David Tuta, NTA News.
Sports Updates concludes our package on News Tonight. Good evening.